Hey everyone, welcome to The More You Know, The Better It Tastes, the most amazing podcast of San Antonio restaurants and the flavors of Texas. And I am here with my business partner.
I'm Alan Williams. And how are you today, Susie?
I am fantastic. We have an amazing guest.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. You know, we have Blanca Aldaco today. Blanca has been my friend for many years, and she's just a wonderful person.
Thanks.
Blanca, welcome.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Thank you for being
here. The year
here.
goes back to 1989.
Yeah.
Just so that you know.
There you go. And the same year my son was born. So, yeah, I can remember that. Wow. So you've been here before, but this time we got video. And so we're just glad to have you in. We want to talk all about what's going on with you and what's going on with the industry because, you know restaurants. You know your stuff.
Yeah, and you are so involved with the community and just have so much going on. It's amazing. It always is. I watch your steps on social media sometimes, and I'm thinking, how does she do it all?
Yeah.
When you love what you do, it's never work.
Yeah. That's cool.
However, we are in the restaurant business, and we are in the most volatile time of our lives. Mm-hmm. It has been tougher than ever as far as when it comes to pricing, labor, chain supply, definitely staff. That will be something that will really help me at Aldaco's and, hit different numbers as well and be able to elevate service. I think we do a great job, but if we have more people working with us, would be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's getting better a little bit, or is it still we're in the middle of the hard part?
I think it's getting better for mostly the people like in the central area, like in the metropolis. I'm in the Stone Oak area, so it's a little bit harder.
Just
for
the
me
employment part, trying to get people.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
As far as covers and people coming to the restaurant, I'm in a very good place. We are doing well. We're busy with curbside, at the bar. We have private dining the entire time, and of course the patio bar.
Yeah. So, of course, we didn't mention this, but Blanca is the owner of Aldaco's Mexican Restaurant at 20079 Stone Oak Parkway. So when you get on Stone Oak and you go all the way to the top of the hill, she's all the way up there.
Yeah, Aldaco's is one of those restaurants that no matter who you're talking to, when you mention Aldaco's, they're like, oh, everybody knows.
Yeah, but you haven't always been up there. I know you started. You just mentioned you started in 1989, and that was in Sunset Station, right? Or that was actually in St. Paul Square.
Right. It was a quaint little house back then. It was 100 years old. That was back in 1989. It had 13 tables and a public easement. That was the patio. So that was that. That was in January 14, 1989, the day that we opened. Relocated to Sunset Station right about the time when the Spurs took their first championship in 1999.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we went from the little house to the 7,000 square foot.
Yeah, that was a big place.
It was. And that was a lot of fun. It was really busy. We were the only thing in that whole area.
Yeah.
So
did you have a big kitchen? I always wondered about that.
Huge.
Okay, you did.
A very, very nice banquet kitchen, one that had the hot line and the cold line. And it was just a dream kitchen.
Yeah. I remember with the very first podcast that we did with you, I thought it astounded me, and I thought it was really cool, what an entrepreneur you are, because you took advantage of, being down there and the tourist buses that would come, and you would bring margaritas and you would meet the tourists as they're coming in. And so I just thought that was so smart.
Well, downtown had absolutely, still today, but they did have a huge convention business, and there were so many DMCs, destination management coordinators, that created tours for the spouses. Mm-hmm. So the cooking classes became alive, and the year was 1999 at Sunset Station, which was an activity while the husband was in session, and the ladies were out shopping, and then they had a cooking class. Or perhaps, they were just coming back from the tours, and they stopped for a quick Margarita nacho break and continue shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was Refresh Your Tour, the name of that thing.
I love that.
Quick stop, and it was a money maker. We knew when they were arriving, we knew what they wanted, and we knew when they were leaving. Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It really is.
Yeah, so that's interesting to me. A few minutes ago, you mentioned the exact date that you opened. Why do you remember that date?
Well, I think it's a very important day. That's when my life changed. I opened up January 14, 1989, and the time was 11 o'clock in the morning. I believe carne asada was $5.95.
Wow.
Yes, $5.95.
Yeah, to have those prices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and we sold about $600 that day, I remember.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. So, of course, Aldaco's is a staple of San Antonio. Everyone knows it, as Susie said. But what inspired you to start it to begin with?
Well, there were different factors, of course. Being from Guadalajara as a very hospitable woman, basically you are always on. You're like a hostess with the mostest. So when people
it's the way you were raised to host, to treat people.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you come to my house, from the minute you arrive, it's welcome. What would you like to drink? What can I offer you? Have some type of botanas. You sat down in the afternoon and just made a complete evening out of doing some type of liquid and some type of food. So you visit over that, and it would be like, naturally when I opened Aldaco's, I had no experience. I had never even cooked for a living. So that makes it even more amazing that I didn't really know how to cook. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know. I knew how to
You
do
knew
it for
the flavors.
5 people. I knew it for 10, but I know how to cook, and much less synchronized plates to come out together.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's such a when you get together, like you're talking with the welcoming people into your home and the drinks and the food and making an evening. It is such a family and a community type of thing. It's so. That's something that I think you feel when you go into Aldaco's. It's I don't know, you just go there and have a good time.
Yes. From the moment that I would be going to say on the weekends to the club, it was like you had your favorite waiter. He knew what you wanted, how you wanted, and what else can I get you, Morucita? Something. They were just very serviceable.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. And I was very lucky that I only had 13 tables and I grew as I grew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you opened in that little place there in St. Paul Square, did you what was your vision? Did you have a vision that you wanted to have a big restaurant, or you just wanted to have that restaurant? That was it?
I was living the moment. And I was working from 6 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, 6 days per week. So naturally on Saturday at 3 o'clock when I went home, I would sleep till Monday morning. So no, I had no further vision than just being able to carry out the load that I had. And eventually start hiring, my sister started helping me for a little bit. And then finally I had 1 server, 2 servers, 3 servers, and so on. The kitchen became immediately too small. We were very successful from the very beginning. We had clean flavors. We had different flavors as well and different presentations. We were already doing the pastel tres leches, caldo tlalpeño, sopa de tortilla, that type of style. Sopa de tortilla with no chicken, mind you. And eventually totally outgrew the place and asked our landlord, Edward Karam, to allow us to build like a very small storage. And I remember that became our storage for our dry goods. Actually, also became the place where Adriana, my first daughter, was born in 1993.
Wow.
I would literally carry her and put her in the bag in between the sack of rice and beans because I had no place to put her. Like a little bassinet, and she would be there, yes. And so that was that. I mean, that was the year that the Alamo Dome opened as well. So that was interesting.
Wow, yeah, that was a gold mine on those days when people were going in.
So what was your...
so we thought, but when they did open the Alamo Dome on that particular day, the Spurs were playing. They had a semifinals over at the arena. And the whole city had closed Commerce Street, allowing only dignitaries to go in marked vehicles.
Yes.
Mike Greenberg from the Express News wrote about so much hope for St. Paul Square when there was hardly any foot traffic. However, the following weekend was the biggest concert ever with Billy Joel and I think Elton John.
I remember that.
Oh my God. It was like people descended like from everywhere. There was like 100,000 people around us.
Wow.
And it was crazy. But, it was our very first ever big event. We were working with a full menu. So needless to say, it was a disaster.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was a disaster.
I'm sure. So what was the inspiration for your food?
Well, the famous cliche, when I was growing up, we would eat at the maternal grandmother on Wednesdays and Friday the paternal, and on Sunday you visited both. They both have very different cuisines. One was very elegant and the other one was very homely. So both were very clear flavors. We had consommes instead of caldos. We had a lot of cremas, like crema de broccoli, zucchini, all these things that's a 9-year-old you don't want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
That's with the maternal. And then with the paternal, grandmother would be more homely, delicious, like feel-good food.
Mm-hmm.
And so both came to nature. I mean, they both were elemental in my palate. They were both elemental in knowing that if I'm going to have a soup, if you go to Aldaco's and you order a soup, you'll never have a lukewarm or cold soup. They're always heated to order, and they are never salty. They never sit on the well. So you always get a translucent, beautiful broth that's full of flavor.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's something that I really definitely inherited from my upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, eating very zesty when it comes to enhancing my food. Like, say, for example, I have a fish. Well, I would like avocado slices and chiles toreados and queso panela. And so that's how the centerpiece was born, to enhance your meal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To enhance your meal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, one subject that we've talked about on here several times, and I'd like to get your take on it, is the word authentic. So your food comes from your recipes in Mexico, but does any of your food, you consider it Tex-Mex? And what does that mean to you?
I think by now my brand is my own culture.
Okay.
I'm not Mex and I'm not Tex-Mex either. I'm both. Mm-hmm. For example, I need to have something with the Tex-Mex cheese enchilada gravy so I can satisfy, a large amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
I do have the famous Mexican plate with the 2 cheese enchiladas and crispy beef taco. It's not listed on the menu. It's not something that I want to promote, but it's available. But understand that this also evolved over the years. When I started, I had that. I had my own mix. I had the caldo tlalpeño, the spicy clear broth with the spicy chile chipotle. We did have the consomé de pollo that instead of having like a big chunky potato and zucchini, they were dainty and very ladylike. You didn't have to have a fork or anything to take into your mouth and enjoy. So I think I have developed my own culture, my own authenticity, because that's what it is. I mean, crema chipotle, crema cilantro, the cilantro dressing that we use for our salads, which is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my own brand, my own country, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of Tex-Mex? I mean, do you think Tex-Mex can be authentic?
Well, I feel, okay, so let me gather my thoughts on this. I mean, it goes all the way back to the chili queens.
Okay.
So there's all the different flavors that came in with the confluence of all the flavors that you have from back in the day and the ability to cook with what they had and how they had to cook it as well. So having open fires, maybe boiling, all the way down from the Aztecs, some of the traditions that they had already using the corn. So Tex-Mex, in my opinion, for me personally, this is like a previous opinion because now I'm older and things evolve. I used to say that Tex-Mex was heavily condimented. You have to have comino and you have to have a lot of onion powder and chili powder. Versus today, the chili Tex-Mex sauce that we make for our enchiladas is actually made from the chile ancho en pasilla. We don't use the powder. Mm-hmm. So we crack, we take out the seeds, we peel and devent and soak. Boil, blend, soak, and blend again. Wow. And that becomes our paste for our enchilada sauce.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's 100% made versus I could buy delicious Bolners and go for it, And then, sometimes I think like in the Food Network, everything has salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper. So there's the rainbow of flavors is non-existent because everything has a very strong common denominator besides the salt, which is the black pepper. Mm-hmm. So I don't believe in marinating grilled chicken with black pepper. I don't like that. Yeah. But that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's like you said, you have really created your own flavors, your own, in your restaurant.
So my marinade has black pepper and my salad dressing has black pepper and my potatoes have black pepper. Everything has a very strong common denominator other than the salt. And I feel that if you were to eat at Aldaco's, you can taste a lot of fresh ingredients, which is fresh garlic, cilantro, lime. Mm-hmm. And if our salsa verde is very garlicky, our chicken for the chicken enchiladas is not.
Yeah.
So you
So it
have
balances.
yes. So that's what we are about.
Mm-hmm.
We are not one recipe for all. We have different ingredients that marry and give you different flavors in one single bite.
Yeah. So, Blanca, how long have you been in San Antonio?
So I got here exactly January 9, 1985.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So it wasn't long after that you opened your restaurant.
Yeah, 4 years later.
Yeah, pretty fast.
I got here, I was supposed to be here on that weekend when it snowed. So I actually was delayed by a couple of days because of that big snow in 1985. So there was still like slush, snow on the ground as I was moving up my bed into my apartment.
Yeah. I mean, and you've really become an icon of our community. I mean, you're so involved with, Fiesta and, so many, which a lot of people, think Fiesta, and it is, the best party in town. But there's so much that the commission does for the community and scholarships and all kinds of different things. And you're a big part of all of that.
Well, Fiesta, when you look from the inside out, is definitely party with a purpose. Every single organization that is registered with the Fiesta Commission as a participating member organization.
And every single one of them also is the money goes to charity, to some charity. Yeah, that's
yes.
so cool.
They're all registered under the Fiesta Commission. If you are an official Fiesta event, you are a 501c3, and it has a purpose. And it has been really a really good branding for people to know that everything that happens, there's a purpose behind it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, your husband, Charlie, he has been Rafael, right? Wasn't
yes, in 2009.
And then this year, you were King Anchovy. Explain that one. That was a fun one.
So King Anchovy, this is definitely from the Fiesta San Antonio Corneation, which is also a 501c3, and it's a PMO, participating member organization of the Fiesta Commission. So the King Anchovy is not an official king, it is a official event. And this particular organization raises a lot of money for AIDS education, a lot of scholarships for theater. They're very big into theater. AIDS Tribe, the Tribe Foundation. So they have a mission, and the mission is to assist young people either follow their theater passion or help with the research for AIDS. And the Fiesta San Antonio Corneation is a sellout event every time. What they do is a spoof on current events in a very satirical way. No one under 18 is allowed, so you get the picture. But it is a lot of fun. And I was very happy to see, sell out night after night after night after night. And King Anchovy, which was me, I was number 58. I believe I'm 5 out of 58 a woman.
Oh,
so 58
wow.
kings, I'm number 5, I think, or 6. And that definitely was a mega honor to be able to get up on stage and pretend I was an actress.
I love it. I love it.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say next year we're going to be there.
Yeah.
It's really, there were so many people that had never been before, and they said that, all the comments were like, I laughed so hard, my makeup was undone.
How fun.
And it really opened up a lot to support that love is love, and we're all the same, and embrace, this phenomenal culture that we have and the purpose that it has to continue to help and support people that want to advance in their theater, which is really important to them.
That's
cool.
I love that.
Well, as Susie said, you're very involved in the community. In addition to that, you are the president of the San Antonio Restaurant Association.
Yes.
And then, which is amazing. You're part of the DOMS, and you'll have to say how do you say that organization?
Le Dom d'Escoffier.
There you go. See, I can't say it, so I have to have you do it. You're just involved in so many different things, plus running a restaurant, a large, popular restaurant. How do you do it all?
Well, everything comes in time. Could I have been a president of the Le Dom d'Escoffier like eight years ago? No, I think it all comes at the right time. And I think when I was president back in, 2014, for 4 years, I was prepared and had been training for that important position. Secondly, coming up with the Texas Restaurant Association as well, I think every step of my different parts of different boards have led me to where I am. But I can tell you that I couldn't do this without the phenomenal family of Aldaco's team. They have been with me for such a long time. They're my family. They know exactly what to do. They make their decisions. I respect their decisions. I support them. They have one job. They know their schedule. So it's a good living for them, I believe, except right now during the stressful times, when we're short-handed and super busy.
Yeah.
But other than that, without them, I wouldn't be able where I am today to be able to serve in different boards and different positions and mentor also as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's such a good point. I mean, you do have so many staff members that have been with you for so many years. Yes. And I remember when we were there not long ago, you introduced me to one of your cooks in the back, and you had said he's been with me since the beginning, almost as long as my husband. It's a long time. I mean, which is such a testament to you as a restaurant owner.
That's right. His name is Andres. Mm-hmm. Andres has been there since the very beginning. I could have killed him back then, but I'm glad we stuck together.
Right.
And we call him El Rey de la Cocina. And as a matter of fact, we have a feature, and he's the feature this month on his entree, which is a mahi or pollo.
Oh, I love that.
With mango pico de gallo.
Sounds
and his one of the descriptions I think I put, he is the soul of souls of Aldacos.
Oh, wow.
El Rey de la Cocina y de Aldacos. And, he has dedicated his life to Aldacos. And he's in a good place. He works Tuesday through Friday. He gardens on the weekends. He enjoys his grandchildren.
Amazing.
Eventually, he started buying little houses on Bassey Road. So now he has like a real estate development
landlord
on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's cool. But I mean, it's a testament to you as a leader that
really
people
is.
have stayed all these years. They wouldn't stay if you weren't a good boss, right? That's all there is to it.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, great. Well, why don't we stop here, take a break, and we will be right back with more of Blanca Aldaco of Aldaco's Mexican Restaurant. We'll be right back.
Cheers.
Sounds good.
Susie, San Antonio POS, they've sponsored our podcast for a while now, and we love David Dyken. We love San Antonio POS. Why do you think they're so great?
Well, so many reasons. One of the reasons is because they're local. Yeah. And, we're all about promoting and helping local businesses. But there's a difference when you're, I think, working with a local business versus a business that is all over the world. You have that local support. You have somebody who's ready to, come and help you when you need it. And as a restaurant, it's so important.
That's something I learned as I've been in this business, how important a POS system is to a restaurant. It can make the restaurant way more efficient. It can make things easier. It can save money, but it's got to be a good one.
Has to be a good one. And the other thing, too, is there's so many costs that restaurants are, unfortunately, have to pay, I guess, and lack of better words. But with San Antonio POS, everything's included. So, you have your gift cards, you have your loyalty program, you have your, all of the things that typically you'd have to pay extra for. It's all included in the system. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. So we have with us today Blanca Aldaco. Blanca is a customer of San Antonio POS. How do you like your system?
I became a customer back in October of last year, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really, really, really important to be up to date to what's going on in your business as far as, what's trending at the moment, what is happening with your labor, and whether you're super busy or slow, how can you improve or, take away. So that there's so many elements that really give you the information at your handheld, on your phone, whatever you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, San Antonio POS, people can learn more about it if they go to www.theFlavorsOfTexas.com.
Yes.
Scroll to the bottom, there's a banner that says San Antonio POS. Click on that, and we can get you more information.
Yep, sure can.
All right. Thanks. And we are back, and today we have Blanca Aldaco, and she's the maven, Margarita maven.
Queen,
the queen, there you go.
Yes, award-winning Margarita.
Of Aldaco's Mexican Restaurant at 20079 Stone Oak Parkway. Welcome, Blanca. We're just having a lot of fun talking about how busy you are. We're going to keep talking longer so that you can rest, so you don't have to rush out of here and go to the next thing that you have to go to.
I'm excited.
No, we love your restaurant, and I've always said the best patio in San Antonio. You're way up on top. You've got a beautiful view to the hill country, which was so smart. And then, but you've just made some big changes. So you've improved it even more. How have you done that?
I am super happy to say that we're always working on enhancing the experience for our guests. And in this case, we ended up with a motorized pergola. What does that mean? It means that we will have all types of elements that will help us, especially during the wintertime. We have the stationary heaters now. We will be able to open and close according to the weather, what's going on. We have the side curtains that will be see-through as well. So if it's too windy, we can always bring them down and not interrupt your experience at the patio. And that just gives us a whole rainbow of opportunities now to give you a better experience when it comes to the elements of the weather.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is nice.
It really is. I mean, you already have, like Alan said, I think one of the most popular patios in San Antonio, but this is taking it to the next level.
I was a little worried. I did love the openness of the sails.
Yeah.
But now it's every comment, every feedback that we have had with the new structure has been very positive.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, because now it's always been a beautiful thing, but if the weather's not good, you really couldn't enjoy it. And now it's there for no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys do curbside, people can order online, but you also do catering and private parties as well.
Yes. So the curbside is something that, we have a slogan, curbside forever. It really enhances you to be craving something and you're in pajamas and you just want to come and get it. No judging, just order online and come and pick it up curbside and you're good to go. Catering is one of the things that we do. We have a dedicated team. Gina and Henry do a phenomenal job. And, of course, private dining. Private dining, we built the restaurant with that intention, with that experience that we brought from downtown to be able to offer corporate events, celebrations, any occasion, any celebration. We can slice the room into 40 or 70. You can have a welcome reception and proceed to dinner. So we have all the different scenarios that can give you exactly what the event you dreamed of.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
and
really
then
cool.
brunch. I have to ask about your brunch
Your
because
Sunday,
that's
it's Sunday only, right? Or is
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Yes, I mean you have some pretty phenomenal menu items on your brunch menu.
They're interesting. We have one that I don't think anyone in San Antonio has, and we've been serving this for like at least 20 years or so. It's a breakfast chile relleno. It's a non-batter poblano pepper that's filled with eggs scrambled to order with ham, egg, and cheese in a light crema poblana.
Yes.
And we also have chilaquiles San Antonio, the traditional ones. I try to make the originals from Mexico City, but nobody went for those. Those were chilaquilers. But now we have the chilaquiles with spicy puntas de puerco al chile chipotle, so it's a phenomenal combination. Carne machaca, I call it machaca, not machacado. It's homemade. We make it in-house. We dry it twice, 3 times.
Wow.
We saute with tomatoes, onions, and peppers, and then we do, ours is machacado with egg.
Okay.
That's what it should be.
Not the other way. We have more machaca than eggs. So it's
what
very
kind of
savory.
meat do you use? You said you dried it yourself. Is it a chuck roast or what is it that you use?
So we
it's
use
beef,
the skirt.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We use the skirt and then we bake it and then we dry it over and over in the
Wow.
convention oven. And then once it's dry, we put it out in the sun just to comply.
Wow.
I need to come have that.
Yeah, that's
Sold. No.
Yes.
I do love machacado, so that would be good. I was thinking when you were talking about your curbside, of course we order pizza sometimes and take pizza home, but your curbside is the only restaurant in San Antonio that we order from curbside like that. I hadn't realized that until you mentioned it, but because you just do such a good job of putting family meals together, and they're always something different. You can either get a bunch of different crispy tacos, or you can get a tray of enchiladas. You have all these different combinations, and they always come with a margarita. At least the ones I order always come with a margarita, and so it's really cool the way you do those curbsides.
We recognize our neighborhood. We recognize what surrounds us, which is 5 miles, which is a bunch of homes, residences, families that are coming home from the sports and have to do homework and get together. So we
Or just lazy like me.
or convenient,
Convenient. There you go. That's a nicer way to put it.
Where the
Convenient.
mom has more time with the kids, and then you serve family style and everybody has to sit at the table and enjoy and boom, you're on your way out in 30 minutes. So we do have a variety of packs that are specifically designed for our neighborhood, our soul, the heart of Aldacos.
Yeah.
What would you say are a couple of your customer faves?
So it depends. I mean, it's kind of super mega varied. For example, if I speak to people from the bar, I know where they want to sit and I know what they want to drink and I know when they want it. They come in and basically the bartender will just serve them their cold margarita, and then they know 30 minutes later they want their nachos.
Yeah.
That's at the bar. And then you have the families that come in with the kiddos. And we did make a project of making sure that we did have the best French fries. No, we don't make them. We buy them and then we fry them.
Okay.
And they had that special coating that's very crispy and savory. So, kids rule between 4 and 6 p.m. That's where they're going to go eat. So we have some good meals for the kids. And, we try to get, as you sit down and you have little ones, that as we get your drink order, we also want to get the food for the kids. That way, that food is immediately hitting the comal or the fryer. And while I'm getting my iced tea, that food's already being made.
That's smart, yeah.
And before you know, happy kid, happy parent, I have the ability to, they have the ability to cut up their food and feed the child.
Right.
And then here comes your food, and by the time...
So they get to eat hot food.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, one of the things that I thought was so cool was the last time I was there, so many people stopped you as we were walking through, and they all you knew all you were just oh my gosh, how are you? Oh, Anyway, it really is a community spot.
It has been throughout the years. I think once again that hostess thing coming in from Guadalajara and being very hospitable, and I will never take a customer for granted, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's smart. So there's several of the dishes you have been credited with bringing to San Antonio, the tres leches.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
And what else? There was
Caldo tlalpeño.
There you go. You
Caldo
brought that to
tlalpeño
San
as well,
Antonio.
yes.
And the avocado margarita. I've never seen it anywhere else. Still to this day, I've never seen it anywhere else. Where did you come up with that?
So it's kind of like a weird story, but it was a long time ago. The year was about 2000. We were at Sunset Station, and there was a marketing thing. The embargo for the avocados from Mexico had been lifted. So we were able to now have avocados from Mexico. And they had a campaign. Avocados from Mexico had a campaign to find restaurants that you would get reimbursed for trying the avocados, and you just had to come up with something. Because we were doing the cooking classes already for the destination spouses, we would do avocado salsa. So one day, just coming out, yes. And I was making it, and I would be making it.
Do you have that like in the back if I ask for it? Or?
We have a pesto.
Okay.
We have a cilantro, jalapeno, lime. We don't do the avocado because it has to be it can turn brown on us.
Yeah, really easy. I understand that.
So the avocado margarita happened when I was in a hurry and I needed to come up with an item to feature avocados from Mexico. And I just come out of a cooking class, and they were asking me, and I was kind of like in a daze. I was not paying attention. I said, yeah. I'll make an avocado margarita, kind of like brushing things off. So the time came. So I believe that was like in January, and then March 1 was the rollout. So I came in to work, and the manager had already put out the flyers for the avocado margarita.
And you didn't have one yet.
And you're like,
God, no. We got to take it off. We can't. So, but we were forced because we had committed. So we kind of started, with instead of tomatillo, we follow the concept of the recipe, but instead of tomatillo, we use the frozen blend.
Wow.
And I remember, it took a little bit of trial and error because as I scooped out the avocado whole into the blender with the frozen blend and fresh lime juice and this and that, it needed to, because I scooped out the whole avocado, half of the avocado, I had lumps in it and I had to stop it before I broke down completely the mass of the frozen, the matter of the frozen. So we tried it again, and this time I took it out like in petals, and it dissolved perfectly and very creamy. And it's like, I remember Eduardo Zamora, one of our servers, was there, and I go, try it. No, you try it. You try it. No, you try it.
Right.
And then we tried it. It was pretty phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah. It's good.
Yes.
I've had it. Yeah, it's
I need to go have one of these.
It's a very mysterious one. It has, if you drink it from the straw, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But as it begins to break down, like say minute number 4, and you still have some, it begins to kind of break down into like a consistency of a milkshake. And then if you start drinking it directly from instead of the straw, but from the glass,
Right.
with the tajin, back then it was trechas, wow, it just has a very different beginning, middle, and an end.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Very,
cool.
very cool.
So
I mean, you have one of the most, you won the Margarita pour-off, so you have one of the most popular margaritas in town.
That's the one that gets us.
I know. You
Beverly
have
and
to
I
have.
go there. I've got to have that.
We
have
love
two of
it.
those. The
Yeah.
third one, I don't know. That's a little, you better not do that. But the second one, yeah. Yeah.
So the other thing too is you've been talking about your cooking classes. You actually have a cookbook that you sell on your website.
I do. And it's homemade. And I didn't print it. It's printed somewhere here, but it is homemade. It's as homemade as it gets. Is it proof by a professional? No. So it's truly.
These are your family recipes. I love it.
Yeah, it's just like trial and error and see. Hopefully you'll get it right.
Yeah. I love that. Okay.
Yeah. So anything next on the horizon? You have any?
What's next on the
plans?
horizon?
Yes.
No, just I feel that we want to continue our commitment to deliver what we do on a continuous basis, to excel, to try to make, the generations to come. I have seen people that were dating and then they got engaged and they got married and here comes the baptism, first communion, and full circle like Edward Leo's outside that I just saw.
Yes.
I have so many generations of clients of that sort. I have seen some come, I have seen some go, but it has been a phenomenal journey. And I want to thank San Antonio. I want to thank all the memories that I have created, that people have helped me create to be where we are, and to thank everybody for supporting my restaurant, my team, and giving us such a phenomenal journey. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Susie.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, we love you. I mean, yeah, truly. So last thing I want to mention really quickly are your gift cards, because, it's like a perfect gift if you're for whatever. And so you have those available on your website as well. Is that right?
True. So this is something new with that we have with S4, and definitely is a steady source of income. So basically, you can be at midnight and you can be shopping for a gift card and send it to a good friend.
I love that.
So it has been, it's really easy. A lot of people have their gift cards
really
available,
nice.
but this is very simple.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Very cool. All right. Well, Blanca, thank you so much for being
thank
here
you so
today. This has
much.
been a lot of fun and very interesting as always.
Thank you.
And we'll be back up the hill to have some more good food real soon.
Yes, guys. And if you, I'm guessing most of you have been to Aldaco's, but if you haven't been in a while, get yourself back out there.
Yeah. You can't be a San Antonian without having.
I know. I was going to say you probably have been because
It's not far. China is far.
Exactly. That's right. It's like right up the road.
That's it.
Yeah, and it's just a cool experience.
It really is. All right. Well, Susie, we'll be back again next week with another interview.
Yes,
Don't know
we
who it'll
will.
be, but it'll be great.
It'll be amazing. Always.
All right. Well, Blanca, again, thank you so much. Aldaco's Mexican Restaurant, 20079 Stone Oak Parkway. Everyone needs to go.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you next week, guys. Tell your friends about this podcast. Share it.
Absolutely. Yes. And eat local and go try something fun and exciting.
There you go. See you next week. Bye guys.